Welcome back to another episode of the one and only Rev Academy. We are back here, and today's a special day. Today is an amazing day because college basketball is back. The NBA has already started. We're like 2 or 3 weeks in, and football is gearing up for the playoffs. This is like the most beautiful time, or gearing up to be the most beautiful time of the year because we're getting all the sports, we're getting all the love, we're getting all the excitement, and I'm here to tell you today. I just want to tell you today that we're going to be talking a little bit about just my five, these guys that I'm just monitoring, seeing how they progress throughout the year. We're going to talk about the grades I gave for these extensions, and then I'm going to just give you some college games that I think you guys should tune in. I should probably start with that first because I feel like today is the day. It's going to be exciting. So let's actually get into that. I want to drop my spotlight game, which is the big none and only North Carolina versus Kansas. And now I think this game is going to be vital. This game is not today. I have the dates. This game is on November 8th. This game is going throughout the first week of the college basketball week. So it's this Sunday towards next. I'm going to be giving you every week primetime games that a casual watcher should entertain, or if there's any big time freshmen, potential draft guys that you guys want to watch, these are the games I'm going to be giving you. Now, North Carolina has a plethora of talent in RJ David, in Seth Trimble, in five-star coming in. I don't know if he's a five-star or four-star, but he's highly touted. Isaiah Jackson. You have guys that are just going to come in here and instantly produce. And I think this is going to be huge. This is going to be a huge game. As for Kansas, they're bringing in an assemble class of guys who've just been in the college system. They're juniors, seniors, sophomores. They've been around. Marco Jackson, Dejon Harrison Jr., Hunter Dickinson, as you can see on the cover. And I think this game is going to be amazing. This game is going to be electric. And, North Carolina is coming off a big year. I think with these two teams, we can get an elite game. But I think you should tune into this game, November 8th. That's going to be the game I have my eyes set on. But for today, we have these games right here. We have, oh no, I lied. No, I did not lie. Today is these games. So today, November 4th, we have the big Baylor versus Gonzaga, number 8 Baylor versus number 6 Gonzaga. And listen, Scott Drew, he wasted no time getting busy in the transfer portal, bringing in guys like big man Norchard Amir, bringing in Jeremy Roach, bringing in high profile incoming freshman VJ Edgecombe. If you don't know who VJ Edgecombe is, please go watch the Bahamas in the Olympics. This brother was electric. He's athletic, probably the most athletic guy in this upcoming class. 4-star Rob White, I don't know how much minutes he will be getting today, but I think this Baylor team is really good. I think they have a chance to be really special, especially in their guard play. As for Gonzaga, they're bringing back pretty much damn near everybody. They got Ryan Nemhart from the transfer portal from Creighton. They got J, and I think this team, Gonzaga, is gearing up for a big year. Now, this game is happening at 11:30 Eastern time. I think this game is going to be fire. I think this game is going to give us kind of that vibe of what we're looking for in the college basketball scene. As for the intense game that I do see up there, Texas A&M versus UCF. Now, the Texas A&M Knights, the UCF Knights have 9 transfers, including highly touted prospect 2 years ago, Mikey Williams and Dior Johnson. Two guys have kind of been in the mix in the off-court stuff, been dealing with a lot on that end, but they're now here. They're in the college world. I'm excited to see them. But Texas A&M is returning 80% of its scoring production. Wade Taylor is a preseason first team all guard as all SEC. They got Henry Coleman, Solomon Washington, Hayden Hefner, Jace Carter. They're pretty much bringing a really, really good group, and Buzz Williams is loving this team that he has right now. They also had a two-way guard in Zurich Phelps from SMU. They're bringing C.J. Wilshire in from Nebraska, 6-man killer, and Pharrell Payne from Minnesota. So, listen, UCF is going to be excited. UCF is going to, be filled with joy on their home opener. But I think Texas A&M is going to come in there and pretty much dominate that game. I think Texas A&M is just too good of a team. And UCF, get prepared because the spotlight is going to be there. I've already seen Overtime drop a couple of videos about Mikey Williams and Dior Johnson. So the hype is definitely going to be there. The media is going to be there. But I think Texas A&M, this game is just for, the media purposes, I think people are going to be looking up for this game. And then of course, Ohio State versus Texas tonight. Ohio State is kind of entering this new era. You know, they had an interim coach turned full head time coach, Dick Diebler. Pretty much he finished the last 10 or 11 games, they were about 8-3, 8-4, something like that. You know, they beat Purdue. They had an NIT selection, went out there and beat Cornell and Virginia Tech. And I think this team is going to be solid. I don't think they're going to be nothing crazy, but you know, you got a new head coach, well, interim head coach turned full time head coach, and I think that's going to be huge. With the Texas Longhorns, though, I mean, they got 5-star freshman Trey Johnson coming in, another potential lottery pick. You know, transfers like Tremont Mark of Arkansas, he's coming in there. So this Texas team is going to be really good. This is going to be a little bit of a test, you know, how you're going to handle the environment. I'm excited to see Trey Johnson. And I think for today, what we're going to get is we're going to get first looks at VJ Edgecombe, Trey Johnson, Rob Wright, if he does get to play. I think that's the exciting. Mikey Williams, Dior John. That's the exciting part about looks. We're going to get key looks at these guys, who I think is going to be more important for, you know, fans or viewers that are casual that just want to get ready for the, you know, upcoming. Like if you have a bad team like Brooklyn or, you know, Washington that's gearing up for the draft, you're definitely looking at these games like, okay, what can I see from VJ Edgecombe? What can I see from Trey Johnson? But November 9th, probably the last slate before I start adding in other games. Tennessee versus Louisville, Arkansas versus Baylor, Auburn versus Houston. Just big time games that I think you guys need to lock in for. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this first week of college slates. Because, you know, we do get Cooper Flag this week. We do get Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey this week. And I think that's the excitement part. But I think there's some other prospects that you should definitely pay attention. But to dig in deep to the show, like I think this is what I want to get into. And I think it's important because I think for me, you know, it's been a lot of just, you know, good hoops going on. There's been a lot of controversy going on. I think people are starting to come up with their overreactions and stuff like that. And I've had a pretty quiet summer. But I think for me, you know, I want to get into these extensions a little bit. I want to get into what my five means. And let me drop the list for you. Dyson Daniels, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Johnson, Denny Advia, Mark Williams. Now, the reason why this is called my five, because this is just guys that are monitoring for the year. This is just guys that I feel like either, well, let me just run the list down by down. I think Dyson Daniels, it's easy to monitor him. You know, coming from a situation where he didn't get a lot of burn in New Orleans, you know, I think him coming here now, being able to prove himself, being able to expand his game, open up his game, show more versatility in his game. I think that's important. And his contract extension is coming up, whether they want to pay him or not. And him pairing next to Trae Young on the defensive side really has helped Trae Young. It's helped this team in general. Because I think Dyson Daniels is a really great defender. 6'7", long, athletic, quick on his feet, can move, can shuffle, you know, plays well in the passing lanes. Excuse me. And I think that's important. That's what you need. That's kind of where Atlanta is building up this team. Excuse me. I think they're building up that kind of 6'7" and up type of guys that can defend at a high level, prepare them next to Trae Young and him be the ultra neutral ball handling, playmaking machine, get these guys open looks. And I think that's going to gear into another guy that's in this my five thing, and that's Jalen Johnson. You know, we did skip over a name, but Jalen Johnson has a rough start to the year so far, but he got that extension. You know, I'll give that grade out a little bit later, but he got that extension. I thought the extension was kind of a steal, you know, about $30 million a year. Jalen Johnson could be an all-star. Jalen Johnson could be definitely an all-star level and number 3 in the championship team. He has all the tools and intangibles to be a jack of all trades type of player. Now, he hasn't really started off the year strong. He does tend to struggle in the paint range. And I think that's more due to his physique, his size. But I think Jalen Johnson has an opportunity here to really grow into that number 2. They're definitely going to need him to because, you know, a heliocentric offense is cool. It could get you wins. But at the same time, you want to really make your name in this league. You want to really kind of like make deep playoff pushes. You're going to need more than one ball handler. Trae Young is amazing. I'm not disputing that. But they're going to need more. And I think Jalen Johnson's kind of getting paid to kind of be that next guy up, kind of keep evolving his game. I mean, from last year to the year prior to last year, you saw a big change and upgrade in his game. So I don't think the assumption that he should be able to do it this year is far off. I think Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels are still relatively really young. They have a chance to really improve and mold themselves in this Atlanta young core and really be a part of Atlanta's future, be a part of Atlanta's, continued growth and success. And you pay Jalen Johnson, elite deal. Now, Jalen Johnson, what can you show me? You pay when you pay for these when you pay these rookie extensions, you usually pay for what you could be, not for what you are at the moment. Sometimes we get that, but 8 times out of 10 is definitely we pay for what you can be. And I think Jalen Johnson can be that guy next to Trey Young, a high end, defender with all around game. And I think that's kind of what you're gearing him up to be. As for Dyson Daniels, I think he can be all NBA defender. I think that's in the cards. He has the tools, he has the knack for it, he has the effort for it, and that's really important. A, a guy in this my five is Jaden Ivey. I was super, super high on Jaden Ivey coming into the NBA when he was at Purdue. He was making star-studded highlight plays. The athleticism was apparent. The finishing was apparent. Last year was a rough year for us Jaden Ivey supporters. I mean, Monty Williams and him just did not get along at all, and I think that was an issue, and that kind of set back his development. And now you're in the year where he's shooting about 38, 39% from the three-point line. That's something you want to see. That's something you're actually excited about. And he's been cool. He's been a good secondary playmaker, but I would love to see just for a consistent year, the IQ improve, the decision making improve, the jump shot be consistent, the finishing continue to improve. I think that's what I want to see throughout the year. And I'm monitoring it. Last year was rough. You throw that in the garbage. Monty Williams wasn't the best fit for this team. Fine. Now you have JB Bickerstaff, who looks like he's going to play Cade and Jaden Ivey a lot more than what Monty ever did. And that's what we want to see. We want to see if this pairing can work. Whether you believe it can or cannot, we just want to see it and have some evidence for it. So I think Jaden Ivey, I'm just monitoring his progression throughout the year. I'm monitoring him next to Cade, him with the bench. I'm monitoring him with JB Bickerstaff because this year is an extremely, extremely important year for Jaden Ivey. Um, Another guy on this list, two more guys on this list, Mark Williams, who hasn't really set foot on the court yet, if I'm not mistaken. The Charlotte Hornets are one of the worst defenses in the league. I believe they were 29th last time I looked in defensive rating. That probably was before the Boston game. The second time, the second Boston game. But they're definitely one of the worst defenders in the league. I mean, one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Mark Williams can help that. Mark Williams could be that backline defender. You definitely want to see how his progression is, how offensively touted he is, and given LaMelo kind of not even just LaMelo, like just giving a team a solid rim protector, somebody who can hold up that end of the back line, kind of make sure your guys on the front end play a little bit harder. I don't know how true it is. We'll see. But I think Mark Williams, I'm just monitoring his progression, monitoring how he can uplift this Hornets defense and the Hornets in general. I mean, like, you got LaMelo, you got Brandon Miller. You sort of found something in Trey Mann. Let's see what Mark Williams can do. Let's see what this young core can really do. Let's see how fast we can, not how fast, but let's see how much we can improve if we stay healthy. That's been the thing with this Charlotte Hornets team. Can LaMelo stay healthy? Can they draft well? Can they bring in guys that help them win? And I think Mark Williams is a good pick. Let's see how it all goes up. Let's see how he elevates and evolves his game. As for my last guy on this list, Denny Advia, he is actually one of my favorite role players in the league because I just love his game. I love how hard he plays. I love that he loves to get up and down, loves to play in the transition, loves to be quick with the ball. Defensively, he's locked in all the time. And offensively, he has a little bit of ways to go. But I think as a secondary connector, he's pretty dope at that. He's able to read the floor, read pick and rolls, read backdoor cuts. He's able to cut on his own, also play a little bit off ball. He's able to be really well reversed in his game. And I think the shooting aspect is going to be up and down sometimes. But I like Denny Avia. And, Washington traded him for a pick or two, if I'm not mistaken. So Portland grabbed him up, which was cool for Portland. You wanted to build the defensive identity. You wanted to bring in guys who play hard and defend, and you need that. And Denny Avia is on the steal of a deal. But now, Denny Avia, let's see you in Portland be one of the guys to help uplift this culture. Let's see you in Portland be one of the guys that can kind of be a part of a good, upstanding basketball team. And I think Denny Avia has the traits to be that. It's just tough because it's going to be in Portland where they're going to need a lot more than a Denny Avia to get this team rolling. But I'm monitoring how Denny Avia is. Dishing on to probably my last topic because I don't want to be too yeah. No, these are quick, short. I do have a Dylan Harper Ace Bailey breakdown video that I want to drop for you guys tomorrow. I have a lot of off this week too at work, so it's gonna be a couple of vids just being built up, being made. Got a Memphis Grizzlies video popping up for you guys, but just to give you guys kind of my idea of where I was at with the extensions, Jalen Johnson, I gave an A+ because I just thought the money was right, the years was right, and I think he can reach it. I think out of all these guys, he's probably the one that can really reach his potential just because of how good overall he is as a player. Kaminga, no extension. I gave it an A because thank God you didn't give him an extension. I don't think he's earned that right. And plus, you still don't know what you want to do with him. And I think that's kind of the problem here. You don't have a legit, real plan for Jonathan Kaminga. So, being that you don't have a plan, why lock him down to this long-term extension with long-term money? And he still hasn't developed as fast as you wanted to be. Now, he's played really well the last 2 games against the Houston Rockets and against the Pelicans. But let's just see it for a year first before you start talking extensions. You're gonna have his bird rights, so that's gonna be huge. Alfred Sengun, I gave a B because I'm not super high on Sengun. I'm not super low on him. I just think it's gonna be really hard to build a really elite to great team when your big man is not good defensively. I know the effort is there, but sometimes the effort can be there and you still not be good at it. I don't think he's a good rim protector. I think the numbers can skew that. I think the numbers can, help Aiden to say he is. But when I watch this Houston Rockets team, he's picked on a lot. When I watch this Houston Rockets team this year so far, the times where they've blown leads or they've really got lost in the sauce has been because of Sengun's inability to defend. It's been because of Sengun's inability to play up and down, play fast. Maybe the tank isn't there. So I gave it a B because I still think, he's a good ass player. I think he's an offensive hub. He can be an offensive hub, which is why I gave it a B. For Jalen Green, it was an A because, first of all, you got the years right. Second of all, if you do need to trade him, the deal, you can move the contract pretty easily. And number three, it's a proven deal. I mean, Jalen Green has been up and down throughout his rookie contract. Had a great had a great end of year last year. Excuse me, has started off strong this year. Good. Pay him, give him this 2-3 years, give him a good amount of money. Now let's see it be consistent. Jalen Suggs, I gave it an A- because Jalen Suggs is like the perfect role player to me. I think wherever Derek White was money wise, I feel like Jalen Suggs can be there because I think he can get to that level. Maybe not the same rate, but Jalen Suggs is a really good player. In the Paulo Banchero injury is kind of gonna hinder that because I think he's going to have to be placed into a role that's not suited for him. He's going to look a little bit worse. But just in terms of when Boncaro does come back and he is that number 3 and he is that solid 3-point shooter, he is that on-ball pest. I love this contract for Jalen Suggs and I think the world of him. Trey Murphy, C+ because you paid him before Brandon Ingram. Interesting. Okay. What do you think he is, Trey Murphy? I think he is a look like he can defend type of player. He's 6'8", he's long, he's athletic, the stance is right, but I don't think he's that good of a defender. I think he definitely gets lost. The effort is not there. His on ball, sometimes he doesn't fight over screens like you want him to do. The ball handling is really suspect. On ball creation is also very not there. But as a 3-point shooter, he's a dog. So what do you? I guess you're banking on what he can be. What can he be for you? I don't know. You still have Brandon Ingram there, who I think is playing really good to start the year, but your team's been banged up. As for Jaden Hardy, I mean, it's a C because Jaden Hardy hasn't really found his footing in the league yet, and maybe this deal becomes tradable down the road for somebody else. But Dallas is in win now mode right now, and I don't think he is the best player for that. I think at this moment we're looking at these rookies, these rookie extensions, and for me, I feel I feel that my favorites are definitely Jalen Johnson and Jalen Suggs because I think they got paid right around what high level role players should get played. And I think, Jalen Johnson can be low end all star. I think Jalen Suggs is like can be an elite level role player. But that's gonna do it for Pickens. Let me stop. That's gonna do it for Rev Academy. I wanted to get this quick video out for you guys because I don't like to do too much. I do have another video coming out tomorrow. You got fantasy reaction coming out tonight. We're probably gonna do pick a side tomorrow too. This week is going to be exciting. We're also doing playback tonight, so please lock in on playback. Get us the views. I want to have a shit ton of people in there, have a little bit of fun. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for showing up, and I'll see you next time.